My younger self, what's your story?
To my younger self, what's your
To
story?
my younger self.
To 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 my younger self, what's your story? To my younger self, what's your story?
Well, hello and good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing? It is so wonderful to see you guys. It is the last week of spring over here. So some of us are very, very excited, i.e. me, because the weather just got nice, okay? You're welcome to the show. The show is To My Younger Self. My name is Zoe Baraka. This is a platform where we share stories from our past that will propel us into the future. And it's a platform for Africans, made by Africans. Storytellers are all African. It is just an African incredible platform. We just tell stories and yeah. Anyway, listen, do me a favor. When you come on, I want you to just say hello to me. Say what's up, greet me in your local dialect. I want to hear from you, okay? As we always do, we're always greeting each other from different parts of the continent Africa. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. First, welcome to all of our viewers on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course on LinkedIn. We are very grateful that you find time to invest in us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where are you watching us from? Baraka Dazwa to you, Sanungu Dazwa Yayadeka Kwana Lafia. I really, really hope you slept well. It is wonderful to see you. Ken Tuma Tuma Fuduwela. It is wonderful to see you. I just greeted you in Hausa and of course in Kasal. Those are normally the very first languages that we kind of just start with. You know what I mean? And that's the reason for that. And Suma to you, Wale. If you speak Wale, I just greeted you, of course, in Dagbani also. Ndinao to you. If you speak Evan, you're from the Volta region of Ghana, I greet you. Wezo, Leke, Afwan. It is wonderful, wonderful to see you. Etiseng, Akwaba, Untedenya Mawachi. Wonderful to see you. I greeted you in different dialects of the Akan language. Thank you so much for joining us. Sawo Bonani to you. If you speak Zulu, I know you South Africans are out there just kind of pushing your weight behind us every single Wednesday. The numbers will just jump and you would know the South Africans are awake. Ibella to you, Ibiokebari. I just greeted you in Moshi. Another incredible language of my mother that I truly, truly love, okay? So I greet you, Te Oyo Teng. It is wonderful to see you. If you speak Ga, Oje Ko to you, Lale to you, to all of you guys at the bottom of Africa, in Chad and all the other places around Chad, North Africa, we greet you, Intum Afet to you. How are you? Salam Alaikum. I just greeted you also in Arabic. As we all know, most of Africa is also scattered with a lot of Arabic speaking people. So we cannot leave them out, can we? Okay, Ekaro to you, Ekabo. If you speak Yoruba, Nagadef to you, to all of our love speaking friends. Jambo, Habari Gani, Habari Ya Osubwe. I just greeted you in Swahili. Karibu Sana to you. Kotong, Amohelang to you. Do you speak Sesotho? I am greeting you. Nyase Aloy Domilake. It is wonderful to see you, to all of our friends who speak Bisa, the people of Burkina Faso. We pay homage to you. Thank you for joining us. Kotoli to you. Do you speak Fofodi and are you Fulani? We all know we're one Ghana, right? So I greet you. Akei to you. If you speak Creole. I always like to say Haiti Creole. I don't know why I need to qualify it, but I do. Bom dia to you if you speak Portuguese. A lot of Africans actually speak Portuguese. Did you know that? I'm sure you did. Everyone on the show is just absolutely smart. Bonjour to you. Buongiorno. Buenos dias. Imaraba to you. It is wonderful, wonderful to see you. For those of you who normally watch the show consistently, you're like, why is Zoe rushing so much today? There's a reason for it. I am excited to introduce to you our next guest storyteller. That's why I'm rushing. Listen, those of you that are watching us from Jamaica, because I know there's a lot of Jamaican support for our next guest storyteller. Listen, good morning to you. Okay, I'm trying to get that accent, the Pato accent. It just doesn't work with me. Well, Gwad to you guys. It is wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining us. Let's see who is here. Ralias Urgo, you're watching us all the way from the French Alps. It is wonderful to see you. Juliet, ooh, look at you. Work allowed you to be great. She's watching us all the way in London. It is wonderful to see you. Macha to you, Ma Doris. Anyone who joins us today, especially those of you on Ma Mary's page, My Journey with Autism, please go in there and say hello, hello, hello. We want to hear from you, and then tell us where you're watching us from, and then greet us in your local dialect. Let me read a little bit about Ma Mary to you. I'm very excited about her. I really, really am. Now, we all know her from the Facebook platform, My Journey with Autism, and she has done an incredible job with Renata. Most of you know her as Nanaya, and all the incredible things she has just kind of had to overcome and come through. Today, however, we're here all about the woman behind this incredible feat. Okay, and we're going to hear from her. There's so much that has been said about her journey with Nanaya, but to my younger self is curious about Mama Mary. I call her Ma Mary. She runs an intensive vocational training and resource center for youths with special needs to impact them with self-help skills, guidance in building up their social skills, as well as emotional support to them and their families. And it is called Clicks Africa Ghana. We're going to give you a little detail about that in the clicker area very, very soon, so that those of you who are moved to send a love note, a love gift, a donation to Clicks Africa Foundation, you can just go ahead and do so through that MTN Momo number that's going to be scrolling through, okay? She is the recipient of a scholarship that offered a place on a program for parents of autistic children at the Autism Treatment Center of America. Sorry. I am so deeply embedded in Africa. Everything is like Africa in my mind. I apologize. This is America. And not only that, but the knowledge she gained has helped many in Ghana and indeed across the continent. Among her many accolades and awards and achievements, I personally confer on her the title Mother of Love. Now you have seen her smile, haven't you? I mean, that smile, there is nothing like it. When Ma Mary smiles, you know it comes from a deep, deep, deep place of resilience, of determination, and a penchant for just unflinching, never ever give up kind of spirit. She has a peace that just comes from within. It can only be given by God. I could go on and on and on. Every time I talk to her, I just feel an upliftment. If I was at a 10, I go to 110. She has a spirit about her that is just so beautiful, that can only come from a place. I'm going to stop rambling and just very humbly, very honorably, it is my deepest, deepest honor and privilege to introduce you to this platform, Ma Mary, Mary Amoah Kufuor, the woman behind Clicks Africa Ghana. Ma Mary, you are very, very welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing amazingly well.
God, it is
Lord,
wonderful
so
to see
nice.
you.
So
Oh,
nice to see you too.
oh, look at you. You look so pretty.
Thank you. That is the African spirit.
I know. Oh my God. See, I wish I had my wrap head on now. Oh my God. Yes, Juliet says, Mother of Love. that smile with the beautiful dimples. What I say? What did I say to you guys? Ma Mary, over to you. Listen, my job is done. You're taking us to tell us
Hey,
first today.
thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. God richly bless you.
Mm,
Roy and your team, I
mm,
just want to say thank you so much
mm,
for giving me this platform to share my story,
mm.
to encourage, to inspire, and to lift somebody up,
Amen.
especially if you feel that you've pushed the wall.
Mm,
You are at your weight ends.
mm,
Life is not dealing with you the best way you want. Trust me,
mm,
being here,
mm,
this moment, it's all that matters.
mm,
This very moment, we are here. It's all that matters.
mm,
My name is Mary Amoah.
mm.
I come from a very humble background, extremely humble background. Yesterday, I was telling somebody my first time of wearing a shoe was when I was in class 4.
What? Oh my God.
Yes, um, when I was in class 4, and I remember my first shoe. I mean, I held it so close to me. Now that I'm grown and I'm an adult, and you can afford shoes, you just look back and you can understand that saying when your mom or parents say life is season and timing. Go
Mm,
through the process, iron yourself, you would get there. I think when you are young, you don't understand some of these things. But
mm.
even as you grow, as you go through the process, you learn so much. So I'm 50 years. I turned 50
So
this
what?
year. 50. I'm a mother of 3,
Mm.
and I've been married for 34 years.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. So, I married very early, extremely early, even
Mm,
before I finished school. I think part of it was because I had a very strong character as a child.
mm.
And my dad, being a traditional ruler, was afraid that, this daughter of mine, I mean, she's not so calm like the others. If I don't tame her early,
Let me marry her off now.
exactly, but,
Wow.
um, thankfully,
Mm,
I think, and in those days, for those of us who come from a very traditional background, in those days when it comes for marriage, you don't have that much say.
mm,
Parents, now it's completely changed. You know, Parents decide, and two families decide before you are aware. So mine was like that. So I'm married to my dad's longest time friend.
what?
His family. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's just a little bit about me. I'm a teacher by profession. I taught for many years before I, left teaching, and that was when God blessed me with a child with disability. As difficult as the word may sound, I have to be honest with myself and call it as it is.
Mm,
So marriage was okay. Everything was fine, rosy. I think in my early years, I thought, oh, it was just like what I see in the Nigerian movies. You know, you get married, you work, you get rich, you get children, you raise them, you do what you want, and that's it. Well, my dear, it's absolutely different from what we see in the movies. So
mm,
I got married, and we decided after marriage that we're going to wait for a little bit of time before we start having children.
mm,
One, because I was staying with my in-laws,
mm.
and we stayed with them for 4 years.
Oh my God.
Yes, so that wasn't too good a decision to decide to have
Oh,
children.
heavy. Oof.
2, my husband was still at the university. I
Mm,
was still at the training college. I had not finished. We were yet to be posted to wherever.
mm.
So we needed a bit of funding. Again, I will not advise any young man and young woman listening to me now to do that. No, I think it's very important
Mm,
to make sure that financially you can take care of yourself, even if not another person. you can take care of yourself so that you don't have to depend on another person. But we are fortunate enough to have my father-in-law, staying with him. He passed away about 19 years ago. May his soul rest in peace. So we started as young couple, and trust me, my husband and I have gone through every challenge that life can throw at people. We've gone through it all. And so after 4 years, we were able to save some money and rent a place. And I remember the first time we went to our own place. I mean, that feeling of having your own privacy, that means a lot in marriage. Yes.
Where was this, Mama Mary? Where was this?
I think this was around 1990, either 94, 95.
Wow.
Yes.
Is this in Accra or another place in Ghana?
No, in Eastern Region, Abri.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. So I was posted to a village called, now it's no more a village, called Brekuso. It's no more a village. And my husband was also posted to, I think somewhere around Akropong in the Eastern Region. So we'll meet on weekends. And then we, like I said, we'll stay with my in-law. So later we were able to rent a place, and then we moved out, and then life started.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I had my first son. It was through cesarean section. Then I had the second one 2 years after, again through cesarean section. Then my husband had the opportunity to go to British Columbia for his master's.
Wow.
And then he left. So 3 years after his studies, he came, and then God blessed me with another pregnancy. Wow. And I remember very well when I was told at that hospital that, I was pregnant with Nanaya, and that she was a girl. Oh my God, the joy.
The joy of it. Oh my God.
The joy, yes. I was so excited. I was happy. As soon as I got home on that day, I came straight to Accra in the afternoon to start buying things, everything pink.
Oh,
I bought ribbons on that day, yes. And this was the very day I was told and confirmed it was a girl. I bought my ribbons. I bought, the first day baby dresses, the pink ones. Yes. I bought my baby shawl. And then I got a very nice small suitcase. I still have that suitcase.
Oh God. Was it a pink suitcase?
No, it was a blue one.
That's a very
I still have it with me.
Yeah.
So I came back home. I was so excited. Pregnancy was just okay until about 7 months when I was, I had measles. I think it lasted for about 4 or 5 days, and I was okay. Then just within the week that I was supposed to go, to give birth. Because I've had previous cesarean sessions, I was told it's best, I opt for the third one as cesarean so that I don't go through vaginal birth, which was okay for me. Then I went in. Came out around, I think, 1:30. Wow. It was the Thursday before Easter Friday.
Oh my God.
And this was in 2003. So I remember that afternoon very well. So when I was fully conscious from the cesarean session, I asked if I could see my daughter. And then they said, when she came out, her color was blue. In other words, there was lack of oxygen during pregnancy. So she was going to be at the intensive care unit. I said, fine. I was wheeled to the ward. I recovered quickly. So after 2 days, I was allowed to see her. She was very tiny, very tiny. I think she weighed 2.1 kilos or something.
What?
Yeah, she was very tiny. I can't believe she could grow to be this big now. So I saw her, she was in the incubator. Then I was advised to start expressing the breast milk, and then they would give it to her through the feeding bottle.
Right.
So after 10 days, I was discharged, but she was not discharged. My motherly instincts will not allow me to go home without a baby. So I said, no. I was going to hang around the hospital until my baby was discharged. I did not go home.
Oh, wow.
I did not. Yes. So I stayed for another week. Every morning I'll walk in there, stand by her, look at her through the incubator and all that. So after about 2 weeks, I was discharged. We went home, everything was fine. At 6 months, she started sitting. At 8, 9 months, she could hold things and stand up.
Oh.
At 1 year, she was walking. 1 year, she was walking. 1.5 years, I remember very well she would say, Mama. At 2 years, she could say, Mama, Dada. One sentence that I will never forget was, Menumusio. Menumusio in Akan means, I want water.
Water.
Yes. Wow. I remember this one very well. So everything was fine. Then just before my daughter turned 3 years, I noticed certain behaviors. The first notable behavior I saw was that she lost the few words that she had. So she'll say, Mama, Dada, Menumusio, meaning I want water. All those words, she stopped saying them. Then I started seeing her flapping her arms. So she'll flap her arms, she'll spin in circles. She'll never get dizzy, she'll never fall down. Wow. Then she would usually, stare into the ceiling space, as if there's something so, she was looking at something. You look there and there's nothing to look at. So she'll just stare at the fan, especially when it starts to spin. I didn't know anything. And then she started to play by herself. So usually she'll gather all her toys and she would just, play with the toys. You dare not touch any. So in other words, she was not sharing any of her toys. Again, as a mother, nothing occurred to me that, something was not right. Wow. Then my husband was teaching at a secondary school. Our next door neighbor was also a teacher who would pick my daughter up in the morning with his, and then would send them to the crèche. Now, at 4 years, this young boy, who was at the same age with Nanaya, would wave bye-bye, would look at you when you speak to him, could hold a conversation.
Like a 4-year-old would.
Yeah. He was following a lot of instructions. All these things, my child was not doing it, except singing. So she would sing and sing. Again, I wasn't so worried. But at 4.5, getting to 5, the school started complaining because she was not potty trained. And then she began to sometimes play with her own feces. So whenever she eases herself, she'll put her own hand in her diapers, and start smearing the poo. So this was a worry to the school. And so they started calling us. That made me very worried. Why would? And in our setting, who plays with the poo? Are you a witch?
That's exactly what they'll say.
Yes, if you don't really, if you have a child on the spectrum and you don't research and educate yourself, some of the symptoms, you might believe whatever these charlatans will tell you.
Or some high priest or somebody somewhere would say. Yeah. Wow.
So, at 5, again, my daughter was not potty trained. She was still in diapers. And so it was difficult. So we pulled her out finally from the mainstream school. She came home, life was becoming to be difficult. Then she was not sleeping at night. There were certain foods she didn't want to eat. She didn't want tomatoes in her food. She didn't want onions. She would separate that from the sauce. Something was just not right. Again, it never, okay. And I was a teacher. A very good one at that.
You will be a good teacher. Look at you, by the way.
Okay.
Wow.
And if I was that, I didn't know anything about autism at the time. So at 5, we did go to hospital. Oh, the doctor said, we saw a general pediatrician. Said, oh, you're just a worried mom. Enroll her again in mainstream school. Again, I got another school that took her in. When I walk in every morning and I see 4 or 5-year-olds, at 6, formal education starts. So at 6 years, you're supposed to start what we call class 1.
Yes.
At class 1, you're supposed to know your numbers, your numerals. You're supposed to know your colors.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know body parts. You're supposed to know your items when you go to school. These were things that were far away for being achieved with my daughter. So again, I was concerned. I was worried. Then, just before year 10-6, so all the others had gone to class 1. She was still at the kindergarten. I went to a Catholic school. Where I went to, there were Peace Corps volunteers. One of them became a very good friend of mine. Now, when she came to visit in one of the days, this was when you had just 10-6. Zoe, in just 15 minutes of being with us,
wow.
She said, Mary, is your daughter always like this? Then I said, like what? He says, I called her. She didn't respond. She didn't look at me. She hardly looks at my face when I call her. She's still in her own world, doing her own thing. I said, what do you mean by she's in her own world? Then she's playing by herself, she's spinning and all that. Then I said, well, for some time now, she's been like this. Then I said, have you heard about autism? Zoe, it was my first time of hearing about this word.
Oh my God.
Then I said, no. They said, okay, follow me, let's go to a cafe. We went there. She got an airtime. Those days you need to go to the cafe, get an airtime.
Yeah.
Then she Googled the word autism. So there was so much information on the internet at the time. She printed this information out, gave to me.
Oh my God.
And then said, please read about it. The more I read, I saw some of the signs. Some of the signs too, I was not doing any. But I could see clearly there were things in there that she was doing. The repetitive behaviors, the flapping of the arms, the spinning, and all those things. She's not waving bye-bye. She's not responding to her name. She has very poor eye contact, blah, blah, blah. So some of these things were in the literature. There were others that were not also, she was not doing. So again, we just started, going to see the pastors. I thought, oh, maybe somebody might have touched my child, somebody who doesn't want me, So my first point of call, even when I read about it, was to go to the pastors. I will save you that story for another time. Two of them, I'll tell you. One, I was asked to go to an open market after 6 p.m. And I'm telling you, yes, at 6 p.m. When I get there, the market women, when they sell things in the market, sometimes there are pieces of maybe food, stuff and all that on the ground.
Yes.
I should pick them, bring those things home, cook for my child. What it means spiritually is that if there's any person struggling with my child's destiny, they should release her. Because the last thing a person will do is to eat from the ground, the bare ground, food on the floor and, on the ground. I did that. The second one,
Wait, Mom Mary, wait. What?
Yes.
What was the biblical point of reference for?
Okay, so let me quickly just explain this in you. Probably you could put it in a better. Sebio yarefo ni nipa ne so nimfa so ena odidi ɛwɔ fam. Odidi free from aduane a yɛato agu. Also like dogs na yɛnyɛ side of the sɛ bi omoa ɛna didi wɔ fam. And if a person can lower herself to the extent of eating ya obia pair, it's only obia, you know, her destiny is not struggling with anybody's. And so people believe, and I'm sure people listening to us who are Ghanaians, you know, have heard some of these stories, you know. Free for no, and you'll be to. That's an adage, you know. I'm sure you find a way to explain that for our audience.
Wow, yes. So what Bob Mary just said was my chi is not very good either, but basically, culturally speaking, the person who kind of grabs food from the ground, when you interpret it, it's almost as though that person is not fighting with anyone. They're not on any pecking order. When you look at the pecking order, they have kind of no destiny at all, and they kind of just, you know, they're not fighting with anyone, and they're the ones that would just go and eat take food on the floor and eat. You know, beggars do it. Well, not beggars here, but in Africa, we have beggars who kind of roam the streets, and also in the market spaces, they kind of would pick up little pieces on the ground from the market women after they've done their selling. And that's, you know, so, but that was the interpretation of, if she gave that kind of food to her daughter, Renata, or Nanaya, as we all affectionately call her, anyone who is fighting with her destiny would kind of revert back to that, which makes sense, but also makes no sense, because that's not what was, I'm not going to go there, but wow.
Yes. So I did that. And you know, you cannot separate spirituality and superstition from the African.
You can't. Well,
you can't.
Oh God.
It's inseparable. Okay. It's inseparable. And let me give you another example. Another parent, a friend of mine, right here in Accra, you know, they live in a barracks, and their next door neighbor has just given birth. And, you know, they had the naming ceremony. She went in on the day of the naming ceremony, gave a piece of cloth. It was returned the next morning. And she asked me, I say, you have a child with autism. Why would you gift me a cloth? Are you trying to transfer what is in your child into my child? Yes. 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 So you see, we are very superstitious people. We are very, very superstitious people. Very superstitious. Well, some of us.
Some of us.
So even
We generally,
it's very
all of us
important.
are.
Yeah. And I get this a lot from therapists, that, you know, even as you give parents evidence-based practices, because of their superstitious behaviors, they'll just go home and do something else. So the second one, I was given 7 white handkerchiefs, and I was asked every night to bath myself and Anaya with the white handkerchief. In other words, we are cleansing the spirit that is tormenting it. But when we are done, we have to walk back into my bedroom backwards. We succeeded the first day. We succeeded the second day. The third day, we both fell. And I was just tired. So I said, look, you know what? I'm not going to do it again. So I stopped. This is just 2 of a lot of the things that I did. You know, Bible says, for lack of knowledge, my children perish.
Yes.
So I did that. Then at 9 years. So again, you notice that between 3, 4, 5, 6 going, I was still in denial. I knew something was not right, but there was no way I was going to accept this. Okay. Now, until about 9 years, I was not potty trained, and then she started menstruating.
Oh,
now, that was a double blow. That was a double blow. My child was in diapers. She was not potty trained at 9, and she started menstruating. The first day I saw the blood, I thought maybe, oh, it was like a cut or something. It never occurred to me to even check the pant. And so I looked everywhere and said, where is this blood all over you? Then I checked, there was a blood-stained panties, and she had menstruated. That was what actually said, no, you know, You cannot continue to say nothing is wrong with your child and not do anything. This is it. You just need to do something. At the same time, within one of the years, which was, I think when it was around 8, within a period of 1 year, we had changed 8 nannies in a year. Why? Because they were not sleeping at night. I didn't know what was wrong with my child. So I couldn't have
known, yeah,
or even prepare them ahead. I couldn't. So they come and, all those. So finally, my husband said, why don't you stop teaching and take care of it? I wouldn't say it was the best decision I took. I still wouldn't say that because he was also sitting at home, a very active, vibrant person, going all over the place, teaching, and all of a sudden putting your life on a hold for your child. That decision came with depression. Yes. At the same time, the same year when I stopped working, my mom became bedridden as a result of stroke. And my mom and myself were very close. So, having the diagnosis, my mom down with stroke and bedridden and having to stop work and going through depression. It was like 3 blows at the same time to me. And that was difficult. But you know something? I have also noticed that through intense pain, sometimes pain can push you beyond your comfort zone. Pain, sometimes, when directed, can push you beyond your comfort zone to really bring the best out of you.
Yourself. Wow.
Yes. So around that time, I did invest, the time, the tablets and iPads. So I got one and I quickly signed on to Facebook. Then I searched for autism groups on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
I saw so many of them and I joined 52 of them.
Come on.
52.
You guys hear that? 52
of them on Facebook.
God.
One of the groups that was really amazing is called Autism Mothers Support Group, which I'm one of their international admins. Yes, I think I shared so much in that group that at a point they added me on. Now, what I did was I'll use my iPad. I would take 2-minute video of yes behaviors and I'll post in the video. Sometimes it goes against their rules, so they would take off the video, blur certain portions of it, and repost for me. And I remember some of the videos I was posting, didn't want any kind of cloths on her skin.
Oh, so she would be naked a little bit.
Yeah. Please, can you not open the gate again? So she wanted to go naked all the time. And this was 8-9 years. The feel of clothes on her skin was unbearable. Again, autism comes with sensory issues. And we know what our senses are. No wonder some of our children are extreme picky eaters. Because even as you give them food, the taste, the smell, they can't cope with it. In that group, I was introduced to this simple brush. This is called TheraPressure brush. And one of the mothers quickly bought this and sent to me and said, look,
from here, from America?
From America. This costs less than $3. But if I tell you what this did for me, you will not believe it. And in the group, they said, look, every day there's something we call sensory diet. Sensory diet is preparing your child, her brain, to be able to accept the sensory inputs that we feel every day. The lights that are coming in, the noise, the taste, everything. Children with autism can have some of these issues. So every day I'll just brush this around her skin, just for 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, 15 minutes in the evening. Within a period of 6 months, she was able to wear clothes. So I was learning so much. In fact, I was in every group. I was learning, putting in questions, learning. Because you know something, in Ghana, I think it's a Ghanaian thing. You know, even in Chi, they say, oh, very man soon. In other words, you're not supposed to show, you know,
Emotion.
your vulnerability openly when you cry. Elsewhere, when you start crying, they'll see it as therapy and give you maybe a handkerchief or a tissue.
Yes, and then tell you to keep crying. They say cry it all out.
Yeah. But here, oh, they're a bit merry. So, you know, we are penny, you know, that kind of thing. So we bottle everything in instead of speaking out. So no wonder there's so much or huge social stigma around parents like us who are raising children with any form of disability, because our culture, part of it has trained us to man up and show how brave you are.
Yes.
Make people believe that everything is excellent, well, but behind the scenes you are sinking.
Yes.
That platform gave me the opportunity to learn. Now, just to cut long story short, in that platform, I was introduced to a program. And one of the mothers said, look, I am going to write you how to push them to get a scholarship. I was to pay $1,500 at the time. I am not working. How do I do that? I pushed for it. They said, okay, pay $700. I pushed. They brought it to $500. I pushed again. They brought it to $200. I pushed again. They said, okay, you can attend the program for free.
My girl.
Okay.
Wow.
So then I got my letter. Quickly then I did my passport. I walked boldly to the American embassy. Not because I didn't have any referral letter. I didn't have any bank, you know. I just went and I said, look, if you give me the visa and I go, I would come back. Who would believe you anyway? But it shows that part of me. My dad used to call it, he says, you have this stupid boldness. You know, I have this stupid boldness. And you know, sometimes when you yourself believe in your dreams and what you believe in, other people around you begin to buy into it. It is so important. What you say, what you do, you know, profess it. Let people see that you believe it. I believe in myself first. Look, I sit here and I see the kind of work Nanaya, you know, can do in the next 10 years. I have in my head how her wedding is going to be.
Oh my God.
I'm beginning to look at the kind of man, you understand? I'm one crazy mother that believes that
crazy dreamer. You're my kind
everything
of
is
mother.
possible.
Amen.
Meanwhile, we have 1,001 challenges. I am still, you know, helping it. So to cut long story short, I got the visa. Again, I didn't have the ticket. And I went to Delta. At that time, the country director of Delta was Pakoshan. If any of the Delta people are listening to me, they know this story. I said, can you loan me the ticket? Nobody does that. Nobody. The best we can do for you, yes. The ticket is $1,200, a return ticket. But we can give it to you for $800. I said, I don't have the $800. He said, well, that's the best we can do. We've given you almost 40% discount. Then I came back, did the fundraising, raised the $800, went back to pay. I went to America with $200 on me. I thought Massachusetts and JFK was like, you know, 30 minutes. I didn't even know.
8 hours.
The yellow taxi from JFK to Manhattan finished my $200.
Oh my God. Oh my God. They didn't tell you?
Yeah. I was, and I remember, I always show that picture that the first time I walked through Grand Central in New York, and it was, you know, the rush hours.
Yes.
And people were running up, and even when you were walking to them to ask them, they were running.
No,
so I said,
why?
Is it raining? I said, why is it raining? Are they running away?
It's a New Yorker spirit.
They said, wow, they were going to catch the train.
Yes, that's us.
Anyway,
We're New Yorkers.
I went for the training. I came back.
Wow.
But 3 things I learned from that training. There were mothers from all over the world who had children like my daughter. So it means I haven't done anything wrong.
Come on.
It's not my fault.
Yes.
It happens to anyone, no matter your religion, your social status, your
Yes.
color.
Oh my God.
At least that reassured me that it is not a Ghanaian thing, neither is it a Bruno thing. It is not for my family.
It is not
Autism
from
is
your
a
family.
medical condition. So
Wow.
I learned from these mothers that love and patience has the power to transform every situation. If you are patient enough and if you can love unconditionally, these 2 virtues has the power to transform the situations that people have given us. Look, 1% chance in every situation you find yourself doesn't mean 0. So if Yah has 1% chance of talking, it is not 0. I am going to grab that 1% and work with it.
Oh, can someone hashtag that? That's hashtagable. 1% is not
It's
0.
not 0.
Come
It's
on.
not. It's not. I may be sitting here. I do not have the money. I don't have this. I don't have that. But I am alive. I am strong. I can articulate. That is my 1%.
That's 1%.
It is not 0.
Mm.
I may not be working in my dream job now. My 1% is still there. It is not 0. So I came back. Then I started, I learned so much. And then I came back. Then I started working on Yah's eye contact. I started working on her ability to share her own toys. I started working on her, making simple, basic requests. And then finally, I learned to manage my own expectation of myself and the people around me.
Wow.
Here I am with a child who needs my love, who needs my attention. I am not going to let anything distract me from giving her my very best. You can insult me. I forgive you in advance. And this is something from my own. I practice, and that's something I do. I call it advanced forgiveness. I've forgiven Zoe. I've forgiven Auntie Joyce. I've forgiven before you even think of hurting me, I have forgiven you in advance. Because I'm only giving 24 hours. My child needs so much within that 24 hours. I do not have the energy to be distracted. Neither can you take me away my focus. No. So then I came back and I started teaching. But again, I needed a distraction-free place. And because we're staying at a school compound, there was, next to our building, there was a garage that was not being used. And Zoe, I took pictures of all these, and it's in my book. I cleaned that garage, and I got a linoleum carpet. 5 years, I placed it there. I knew that if she falls down, because she was very hyperactive, she could hurt herself. So I went to where they sell the foam, the ash foam. Yeah.
Ash foam.
And then, yes. And then I got a foam under the carpet so that, when you step on it, it gives you that feel. Should she sit or fall, she's not going to hurt herself. Then I started working on eye contact. Within 6 months, within that time, my daughter got potty trained. 1, I was a
At
present.
what age was this?
This was at 9.
Oh my God.
She got potty trained. That was a miracle. As we worked to get her more engaged with us, she began to eat by herself. Then she began to also wear her clothes without removing them. For me, those little things.
Those were not
meant,
little. Those were big wins.
They meant a lot for me.
Oh my God.
And then because I was also managing my expectation, I'm sure we may have to do this in 2 sessions probably.
Oh, we're here for it. These
So
people here, let me tell you though, Mama Mary, the comment section is blowing up so badly. We couldn't stop to even acknowledge everyone. First of all, thank you all for coming. For those of you who have kind of crossed over from my journey with autism, from Mama Mary's page to my younger self to watch this, we want to say thank you for joining us and just keep the conversation going. But yes, you're right. We need this in 2 sessions for sure. But yeah.
so then quickly, when I started, I saw the changes in her within 6 months. And I said, look, here I am struggling to get money to do other things. Why don't I extend this with other parents? So within a week, I was private teaching other children in their house, 4 of them. One of these 4 children is in UK now doing her degree.
Are you joking?
Yes. And the parents have been so grateful. The other 3 are doing so well. One, whenever I go into the parents' home, I let them know that I believe in your child, regardless of what you have learned about them. 2, I begin to tell them, begin to unlearn everything you know about your child and go on this new process. And let's begin to take this child as an individual. What works for your child? What is their learning style? What are they attracted to? Like I told you, if you come to my room right now, and maybe I could just switch the camera there right now. Yeah, it's obsessed with bats.
Yeah.
I thought, how could I use this positively? I got a carpenter to create what we call just a little closet. And this was designed by me. Look here. This is a little closet.
Oh my God.
That I did for her, but this is also a shop for Nanaya. So in this house, we're going to be selling, her shoes. She's going to be getting points. If she wants to travel, then I want her to be able to use her words.
Oh my
And in addition to teaching her that, so I just made this morning. You see here, I want
shoes.
Okay, I want shoes. What kind of shoe do you want? I want brown shoe. So we are working on sentences right now using things that she loves. Zoe, when there's a will, there's a way. So I started teaching these parents. They started seeing progress. They started paying me some good money. Within 2 years, within 2 years, I bought a small car. I bought Toyota Vitz from the savings I got from teaching in people's homes. Then I said, look, for me to be able to reach a lot of these parents, let me get a driver so that even as I sit in the car, I can be preparing my lessons. Then I started going. Within a period of 1 year, I could also employ somebody to teach them what I was doing with these kids so I could give them some of the sessions. I saw it was going very well. Then I said, no. And for everybody who is listening, these days, young people, you don't want to volunteer. Don't always look at the money. Volunteer your time. To be an expertise in your area, you need a vast experience from different places. And so quickly, in one of the instances, there was a speech therapist who had opened a center, and she was looking for a teacher to, oversee the center. Without offering me salary, I said I would do it. As long as my child will benefit and I can have the opportunity of, liaising with other parents. Because, right from the beginning, I can see my future. I can see ahead. I have my own strategic plan. I knew what I was doing, but I needed to start at step 1. I needed to be taught. I needed to be schooled. I needed to understand the
basics of it.
Feelings, feeling, and all that these parents go through. And if our center is doing well right now, that we have so many children on our waiting list, Zoe, it is because instead of just providing therapy, we sit down with the parent and we look at what other ways can we support you. Do you have the right information to be able to talk to your husband about it? Are you bringing your children on board? Who are your children's friends? Can we print some information for the siblings? Can we begin to project this child that people only see the autism in a way that people will begin to see something good in this child before their disability? Now, as we begin to help these parents to unlearn about the ways and the things that they already know and want to force these children to fit in, we begin in a different new progress, different new way, different new ideas. And so you see grandmother coming in when we have our meeting. You see the fathers coming in when we have our meeting in Ghana.
What
and I'm
a
so proud.
radical thought and a radical.
I am so proud to share that in our meetings, if you find 20 ladies, you will find equally 20 men.
Come on.
Yes. If you go on our Facebook page, and I say this with pride. I say this with pride.
I'm feeling the pride too. I'm like so proud. Wow.
You know, and as much as I want, it's not where I want her to be now. But trust me, if there's anything that has come in my life that has pushed the best out of me as an individual, that has worked through me to bring the best in me, it is autism. So sometimes, from my own experience, I can also tell you that things that sometimes you think that has come into your life to bring you down, even that person who said no to you was a blessing in disguise. It is just that you are not looking at it with the right focus and lenses. The person that closed that door helped you think outside your box.
Yes.
The person you thought insulted you and you got so angry. Trust me, all those arrows that was thrown at you, they are life lessons. It's just that you did not look at them with the right lens. I have seen people who knew me doing autism 12 years ago. They come back now, I'm doing the same thing with the same passion. And they come and say, you know, and the more you you begin, whatever you choose to do, you pay detailed attention to it. You're trying to solve problems. Not necessarily, yes, the money is very good, trust me. We all work because we want the money. But the primary focus is, how do I support these children? For instance, is there something I can do to help all these children who are not potty trained? What can I do to help all these children who are not, they are picky eaters? So the parent come, even though their children are not talking, but they came for 3 months, and at our center, the children are now open to different textures of food. How did we do it? Well, instead of sitting in the room on a table, we have a round table where even as you eat, you can get up and walk around. We'll follow you with the food. We'll stay with you to eat. We'll take turns with you to eat. We'll play everything that you need to do to get the children to connect with you. You cannot work with a child who has attention deficit, whatever, without connecting with them. Find that thing that makes a change in them. And in these children, it could be a Lego, it could be a pencil. Those insignificant things. Learning doesn't take place only in the classroom. They say that if a child cannot learn in the way we teach, we must teach in a way that child can learn.
Come on. Can a producer just put that in the comment section? I need to. Okay. If a child cannot learn the way
we teach, we must teach in a way that child can learn. There is a child at my center who will never go to the classroom, but he's always staring at flowers. I said, fine, it's okay. Let's sit near the flower. Can we begin to sing with the name of this flower? Can we plug one and put it in your head and say, sing along it? Can we connect with this child, with that particular thing that child is so? Don't take it away from them. You fail in advance. See the good. Yes, like Doris said, see the good in
in
every
the
child.
child. Yes.
Autism has taken me to so many places. Autism has brought the best in me. Autism has made me find my purpose in life.
Wow.
Of all the schools I went to, if there's one particular thing that has taught me the very best about life, it is autism.
The school of autism. Come on.
If there's one thing that has brought the best in me, it is autism. But again, they say behind every child that makes the most progress is an active parent. Parenting is difficult from all angles, be it regular or neurotypical children. But we cannot fail our children. You love your child. The fact that I had Nanaya or I have Nanaya and she's on the autism spectrum does not change the love I have for her.
Yes.
My daughter is still the daughter I conceived 20 years ago. Autism, yes, might have come our way, but I still love it.
Ma Mary, we have to take a moment to just reflect that she is 19. Guys, can you just think about that for a moment? She's 19.
20 years, 20.
Oh my
She's
God.
20 now.
She's 20 now. Last year, I remember that, she's 20. Do you know what power that is? And the
She's
fact
20
that
now.
she travel, man, I saw her out here in New York and New Jersey. Let me tell you, with her bag and her shoe, just enjoying life. Oh my God.
And you know, now it's easy when I talk about it because I've gone through it all. But Zoe, there's nobody who has life figured out. You must hold on to faith as if it is your last thing. Auntie Joyce will tell you about me. She'll tell you, I don't give up.
Oh, yes.
I do not give up. You know. If you're tired of me, I don't get tired. I don't get tired of myself. So, but as parents, as we grow, if your own existence is about yourself, it's about Zoe, it's about one person, then we haven't done much. My dad would say, the person who plants a tree, knowing very well that he may never have the opportunity of sitting under its shade, is the person who has understood life.
Come on.
You plant a tree, you know very well, by the time you get it, so big with all the branches, so people could sit, it could take about 100 years. You may not be here, but you have understood life. In other words, you're doing something so that the generation that will come after you will not have to reinvent the wheel. I went for assessment when we were in America. And then, this white lady sat there, did this, and started writing. I said, wait a minute. What you are writing is not my daughter. This is a new environment. The way you mention the words, she doesn't even understand
Doesn't
it.
even get it.
I say water. You are sitting here saying water. She doesn't know what
She doesn't know what water is.
So you can't tick there 0. She knows water. If you give me the opportunity to sit there and teach me what to do, the results will be different. You asking her about dinosaurs, you asking her about this and that. If you ask her about cats, goats, hen, meow, she knows.
No.
Alligator, she doesn't know alligator. Dinosaur, she doesn't know dinosaur. These are very foreign. But what am I trying to say? Until we begin to have our own,
we will
sometimes.
Never. Yes. Wow.
So even when, like I said, can't we design something that will suit our own environment for assessment? Instead of looking at, you open the assessment and look at the pictures, and maybe 15 out of the 30 pictures are very foreign. But if there are a group of food and a child sees rice, Weche, jollof, they will know. If my child sees broccoli, she doesn't know
She doesn't know
broccoli.
what broccoli is. Oh
Sister,
my!
what can you say? How do you say it? How do you say it?
I
Broccoli.
said broccoli.
What's that? You see broccoli. Okay.
Oh my God. Hmm.
So I think that life and the experiences we go through is shaping us, and it brings the best in us. I tell my children all the time, when you do something that is not right, own up. The moment you begin to shift blame, you never learn. You never learn.
Wow.
You never learn. And so my children have gone through a lot, and we didn't separate them from when my daughter, we did everything together.
I was
When
about
we
to
stopped
ask
going to
about
church,
that.
yes.
Yes.
When we stopped going to church, it was not just
Wait,
me and
you stopped
my
going to church?
because she will not sit down, we go there, she's all over the place. The noise was too much, Ghanaian churches. And
Yes.
all that. So we said, okay, we'll form our own church. It was my husband, myself, my 3 children. We preach on Sundays, we sing, we dance, and then we come home.
Wow.
Improvisation, bring the best out in you as a human being, as a person. And because my children have been through it all with us collectively as a family, I believe that I look at them now and I feel proud that
Yes.
we've done a good job.
Wow. Wow.
So maybe I may have to pause a little bit and
I think for the most part, actually for all of the part, everyone here is just so in awe of you. I normally I would take time to read the comments, but I can't keep up. We can't keep up today. Yeah, Lady Juliet, I thought you were going to be gone in 30 minutes, but she's still here. She said, we formed our own church, solid. Rita says, you have really done a good job. Renee says, regional learning of things familiar to the immediate environment is necessary in order to get an accurate assessment of individuals with disabilities. Someone had actually even posted maybe the Ministry of Education in Ghana should engage you and no lie, pay you a lot of money.
So I don't have the credentials they're looking for. I don't have a degree.
What are they talking about?
I don't have a degree.
But your degree is this.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the room that out. We've written 6 books. Okay, my husband and I, we've looked at the curriculum, the new one, and we look at how can we, because when it comes to special needs, there are no textbooks for, a kind of curriculum for the individual children. So we look at learning styles. Some of these children are kinesthetic learners. Movement works for them. Okay. Yes, some of them are very photo, they what they see, it attracts them, very visual. So how can we use all these different learning styles and write a book that takes into consideration? So if you look at the book that we've written, we have the objective, then we have, the strategies of how to, and parents can use, teachers can use, carers, caregivers. Okay, so give yourself 30 minutes. Take everything that will be a distraction to you. Start with an item that a child loves. Come to their level. If you have to kneel down, kneel down. If you have to sit on the floor, sit on the floor. Be at a natural environment that a child will love. Now, what do you want to achieve? You're working on eye contact. Okay? What does the child like? So we've written every step to step. Each page in that book gives you the focus, or what we call the target. Then it gives you the strategies. Then it gives you how to do that. And whilst we are waiting for speech therapies and occupational therapies, there's a lot that we can do instead of waiting. You go for a speech therapy for 1 hour, you're going to pay 100 Ghana cedis. You can break that 1 hour into maybe 15, 10 minutes within the day. Do something. Get yourself involved.
Oh my God.
Nanaya, you can come. Don't worry. Let her come.
Come. Yes, come, Nanaya. Oh my God.
You understand that? I am teaching her
what
to
happened to
understand.
the books, Ma Mary? What happened to the 6 books? The
Oh,
ministry
the
of
same book, we are using it at the center for some time. We call it the test period, and then we're going to make it. We're working very closely with EPP books. Yes, but I'm also going to be sharing the content with some of the other centers so they can print and use with their children for free. As you know, this is so important. We need to help each other. We need to help ourselves. So we've written the books. This morning, there were a lot of ideas that were, coming onto me, I just took a book and wrote each one down, involving grandparents, and I noticed that a lot of the young people, we are so much achievement oriented. Look, you can get all the money and you've lost your children.
Then
It doesn't have to be autism. Yes. You come back, you hardly know your children. Please, I am not here, how do you say it, like blaming? No. But even as we go through all the academic, let's pause a little bit. The best time of my life was the time I spent with my mother. And these days, when I'm going through difficult challenges, I remember some of the, times we spent together. It brings a lot of smiles to me. Give your children those memories. Give your children those memories. Wow. When my boys started going to school, before you leave my side, I'll just ask you to come stand in front of me, raise your 2 hands, and I'll smell your armpit. Now, when they are coming close to me, they'll say, "Hey, mommy, now we are young men. We have girlfriends. Don't come and smell." I said, "Well, now you know how to take care of yourselves." But we say these things and we smile.
Wow.
Create moments with these children when they are young. Trust me, how I wish I've even spent more time with my boys. Not even when you call them, you don't even get them. They are
like that. Children are like that.
But I can, at a point I say, I've been so close with my boys. All of a sudden, it's like I'm losing them. I went to one lady and said, it looks like my children are changing towards me. Say, "No, Mary, they are not changing. They are at the peak of their lives. They are finding their own feet. You have given them the training. Set them to make the right decision for themselves. Don't hold them back." And I said, "Okay, but can we at least agree that throughout the week you come once here and spend the night here and then go just once? Out of the 7 days, I just want one." Family, the joy, the bond. Why would they grow up and deviate from that training? It is not about just praying and praying and sprinkling them with the blood of. Give them the training. It is equally
How
important.
we have misunderstood that statement. Sprinkling the blood of Jesus. Oh God.
It is very good. I'm not saying, but give them the training. Build the foundation. Build the basis. I'm not a perfect parent. I have made a lot of mistakes. One thing that we did, as young couple when we had children initially was to have family time. The last Sunday of every month, regardless of how busy, sick you are, you need to be at the family time. It's between 4 o'clock to 7, 3 hours. Daddy has to be there. I have to be there. That once a week, that day, I cook the best meal that they love. And my children love kebab, fried plantain, and jollof. So I make this the best way I can.
I'm coming for that. Kebab, fried plantain, and jollof.
Oh, and coleslaw. You love it. So we sit and then we have candid conversation. In one of that meetings, my husband asks, "What are some of the things that we do as parents that you don't like?" "Oh, my second son started." So if we say it, are you not going to say that we don't respect? I said, no. We're very, come on, guys, tell us. And I said, "Daddy, you said it's not good to lie." He said, "Yes, lies are not good." My husband was a housemaster at Achimota School for many years. Now, a lot of the times, how the boys in the house will come and knock at the door all the time. So sometimes he wants to sleep. and the boys will come. So you tell my sons to go and tell them that I'm not around, or go and tell them I'm sleeping. And I said, so you said lies are not good. They were saying, yes, lies, it's not good. But you were not sleeping. You asked me to go and tell them that you were asleep. Then my husband said that, some lies, it said, lie is lie.
Oh my
Whether small
God.
or big. Then I said, okay, now that we know you are adults, we are not going to do any family time again. But children will tell you. Another time, I think my other son, we said, okay, what do you want for your birthday? Then he says, a pen. I was like, who in their right sense of mind will ask for a pen? Not even a special pen. It's the regular, pen. So I asked, what's the rationale or the idea behind this pen you asked? He said, in this house, whenever I take somebody's pen, the way you insult, I have my own pen.
Wow.
But sometimes as Ghanaian parents, you pass on certain comments indirectly. You don't even know it hurts your children. When you create these family times and opportunities for the children, they feel bored. They feel very assertive. They're able to bring out the best in them. And, son, I said, okay, I like the way, you say things. Emmanuel, that's very good. That my son, I think he may be on the spectrum. Probably he skipped the diagnosis. Yeah. He doesn't
he's
eat
very
meat.
intelligent.
He doesn't eat meat.
Wow.
He doesn't eat meat. He said no. Something's not right with him. I'm yet to, he did chemistry and he did so well. He had second class upper. He was aiming for first class. And then we asked, so now that you've done very well, your GPA is very good. We want you to go and do your master's. He says, I want to be a pastor. And Dad said, yes, you can still be a pastor. You can be a minister. Well, I don't know. I said, if it's a calling, we have nothing against you. If it's a calling, we have nothing against you. I think the strength I see in him is he loves to play, he loves to pray. He prays a lot. So he's one of our backbone in the family.
Wow.
Last night,
all
my three boys were here last night. Throughout the night, we all came together to pray for the elder brother because he wants to go back to school, after working for 2 years. He wants to go back to school. He needed to seek the face of God. And we all came together to pray through the night. And then they left this morning. So I'm going to pause here. I'm sure that
we could keep listening. There's a few people who by normally around this time, they would have been off and they would go because they have to work. And then they would come back and watch. Today, they're all here still. And they're like, no, I can't leave. Someone, Lady Juliet, she is in 2 meetings and she has some
yes. So,
she's wow.
In conclusion, I would say that live each day with gratitude. Manage your expectations, especially now in this era we live in. Make time for family, for children. Money is good, yes, it's excellent. But quality time spent with our children in their formative years, it's so important. Practice advanced forgiveness. Every challenge that you're going through right now, trust me, it is there to serve a purpose. It is not happening for happening's sake. No way, my dear. No way. No way. There's a purpose why I met you. There's a purpose why we are sharing this. There's a purpose why I have to be here today.
Yes.
It's for a purpose. And I hope that you've learned just one thing.
Oh, I've learned now.
Thank you very much.
Many.
And I just want to also extend an invitation to each one of you. Please, no amount is too small.
Yes.
Support my foundation. Click Africa Foundation. We are doing amazing work. At the moment, we have over 100 children at the center. And they are doing amazing. Yes. we have some of the children, about 40% of them paying nothing to receive the support. So we need you to hold our hands. The $1, the $2, the 100 cedis, the 50 cedis. Please extend the support to us.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Mary, today you came for all of us. And, let me just reiterate. One, for those of us that live in this part of the world, you can catch up with Ma Mary and everything that she's doing at Clicks Foundation. It's actually clicksafricafoundation.org. It's, scrolling right there on the screens. Clicks Africa Foundation. And next time Ma Mary is here, because I saw in the comment, producer already put there, Ma Mary must come back and be one of our master story tellers. When we confer on you a master storyteller, that means you would come and actually teach storytelling. So that's a whole other
I will. I will.
So
I will.
Let me tell you guys, please follow up. The other thing we want you to do, don't wait. You can send, for those of you who are here and are not able to do the Momo and all that, just send your donations to hashtag TMYS7. Hashtag TMYS7. And then we would just put in the comment section for Clicks Foundation or for Ma Mary or for Nanaya. As long as we know that, we would take all of those monies, we'll give it about a week or two, and whatever comes in, we will send it over to Ma Mary. And for those of you who are able to just do it directly, please, please, please just do it directly. It is +233 24 498 Just, like she said, Kitwa Bianswa. I hope I said that right.
You did.
Nothing is too little. $1. But me, I don't like saying $1. Okay, the too little. Let's start at $50. Okay, $50, $100, $150, $200, whatever. These days, you can buy lunch with $25, and that's your lunch. If you can give up your lunch to kind of make life a little easier for someone in the next generation that is living with certain abilities that are not exactly matched like yours, that I believe would be a good $25 well spent. So send anything. Send anything. For some of you, I know you need to take time and pray on it. Talk to your churches about them. I know a lot of you go to church. Talk to your churches about them. Talk to random people and say, hey, there's a foundation in Ghana that's doing incredible things. Now, when today's show was executive produced by Joyce Bauer Mokhtari, an incredible woman. And when she first reached out, I remember we told her, we don't fundraise onto my younger self at all. Now, if Ma Mary comes on and it happens organically, we don't mind at all, because she's doing an incredible job. We've done impromptu fundraisings on here, and all of them have gone well. Today, please do this one for me. Do it for Zoe. And do it for Nanaya, and do it for Ma Mary. I am begging of you. Oh my God, the comment section is blowing up. It's blowing up. I don't know which one to take, but yes. Clicks. I know my journey with autism is right here, and you guys have you've plugged it in. Newton says, thank you, Ma Mary and Zoe, and our own at Elsie Dixon. Yes, and this time around, yes, Linda, the Cash App that we want you to send it to, Sumaya, can you put it up? Actually, let me do it myself. It is hashtag the letter T like Tom, the letter M like Mary, Y like yellow, S like Sam or Sierra, and the number 7, TMYS7. And please, in the description, just put Clicks Africa or Ma Mary or Nanaya. We will understand what that is, okay? Thank you guys so very, very much for just hanging in here with us. Today, we've had a consistent flow of audiences. All of you have been wonderful. I know Ma Mary is also just, she just has a power of gripping you with her storytelling. And in that vein, when we say that we're telling African stories, we're throwing light on our own stories. I like what Ma Mary said. when they're doing these assessments, why won't we just use the things that are very, very familiar in our environment, right? So if you're African, why wouldn't you put your money where your heart is, right? So with that being said, we at To My Younger Self, we encourage you to support, you know, all these platforms like Where Ghana. They're doing incredible things. Humanity Chats by Margie March, she comes on every Thursday. Quad Designs, Music for Your Quality Feet. I think they're actually having their UK fundraiser ball party thing this weekend. So you definitely don't want to miss that if you happen to be in the UK. Wow, guys, can I just say thank you so much? Somebody literally just sent us money. Oh my God, my heart. Oh, you guys are just incredible. Someone just sent us some donations for Clicks for Africa. My phone is blowing up. I'm so thankful. I am so thankful. I'm so thankful. Wow. Anyway, M. Sims by Mabel Simpson, Avonzige Bridal, Ryle by Designs, coming out of Nyack, New York. She actually repairs things and does incredible things. Keys and Credo, Horseman Shoes and Caveman Watches, and all these other incredible entrepreneurs that are springing out of Ghana and, of course, Africa as a whole. We do want to put our support there, okay? There's nothing against all the other parts of the world, but because we were born in Africa, for us, always Africa first. We are here to tell our stories, to invest in ourselves, and to be better for each other. I also want to take time out to say thank you to our donors. The person that sent us the first donation towards Clicks Foundation for Africa, or Africa Foundation, we want to say thank you. Also, Auntie B of Exceptional Care, you're always supporting us. We want to say thank you. We want to say thank you to, my brain is doing a thing, guys. I apologize because I'm so, but Auntie Rose Machayo, I want to say thank you. Jane Fiorito, I want to say thank you. Auntie Araba, thank you. Auntie Tilly, there's so many of you that is always supporting us. This time around though, for any support that you have been prompted to send to us. If you happen to be in Ghana, please, this month, send that donation to Ma Mary's Foundation. That's what we want. That will be our contribution. That's what we want. So if you're in Ghana and you send it, just say TMYS Clicks, you know, yeah. All right. We just want to say thank you. The last thing I wanted to say was thank you to Joyce Bawa Mokhtari for curating this specially. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's a woman of her word. When she says she'll do something, she does it, and she does it well, very beautifully, no matter how busy she is. Auntie Joyce, I want to say thank you for making this happen and executive producing it. You did an incredible job, and thank you for thinking of us. We're about to sign off. Next week, we have our roving storyteller, Nweki, who is back with us, so do not miss it. And the month of July, oh my God, your mind would blow what we're doing on here on To My Younger Self. Shh, it's a secret. It's a secret. We won't tell you until we enter the month of July. But I see a lot of you are still commenting. I don't know what to do. We have to love you and leave you. We gotta go. We gotta go. But Ma Mary, you will definitely come back.
I will.
And this time when you come back, I want to hear how you wanted to be a nun, because you were going to tell us that story.
I will.
And all the other things. Man, she has stories for days, Guys, thank you. Truly, we appreciate you. We're so glad that you took time to join us. Ma Mary, say something that you want us to close with.
What else can I say? I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share. In a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind.
Come on.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, let us choose to be kind. The world needs kindness right now. Thank you. I love you all.
Oh, and we love you too, Ma Mary. Thank you so much. And with that, enjoy a beautiful Tuesday. Have a great week. And remember, forgive in advance. Forgive in advance. To my younger self, loves you. Zoe loves you. My Mary loves you. Bye.
Bye.
Kaja Israel, Kaja Egypt, Kaja Ethiopia, Kaja Sudan, Waja Shong. Kaja Ikushima, you know, Wanime Kona, me Waja Shong. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know, Waja Shong. Waja Gay, Waja Shong. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're showing. Machetaki, you know Sumanguru, you know what you're showing. What's that to do, you know? Why am I saying, you know?